Hey, it's Heidi. Welcome back for another video. Today we're going to talk about Binging Betty. Binging Betty is one of my apps or attachment personality patterns that I've come up with. And all that means is that any dysfunctional behavior, my theory is that any dysfunctional behavior is just a result of a way of attachment, an attachment personality pattern that you developed as a way to cope, thrive, survive, or connect in the family dynamic that you grew up in. And so we all kind of take on these different personality patterns as a way to survive. However, later on in life, they're not helping you anymore, right? They're hurting you. So today we're going to talk about the app of Binging Betty, or the personality pattern of Binging Betty. So I've been in recovery for my binge eating disorder, if you want to call it that, disorder. I don't like to label things either. That's why I'm a fan of the apps, because it's better to deal for me in personality patterns than disorders or disease. So however, I've been in recovery from my dysfunctional relationship with food for many, many, many years. And, on the journey, sometimes you feel like it's behind you and you're not even thinking about it and you're just going on about your day. And then other times it pops up in the most unexpected places. So the other day for me, I was having dinner with Ellie, and we're sitting at the little breakfast nook. And I made her this like really delectable dish of like Trader Joe's orange chicken. Actually, it's good. You might be surprised. And some brown rice and some raisins. And it was pretty tasty. So she's sitting there and she's like, this is yummy. She's eating her food. And I'm like, okay. So then I said, and she pushed her plate away. And she said, I'm all done. And I was like, oh, okay. I said, are you all done? She said, yeah. And then I was like looking at her. She really hadn't eaten that much. And I was like, well, Ellie, I said, why don't you eat a little more so that you're not hungry later? And then I heard her voice. I heard Binging Betty. That's Binging Betty, right? Binging Betty says things like that. Hey, eat all of this now so you're not hungry later. Heaven forbid you might be hungry later. But the ironic part is even if you eat all that, you're still going to be hungry later too, right? Because that's how hunger works. Binging Betty, when she manifested in my life, literally would have ate her food like it was running away from her, right? Because the lies that she told were, hey, you better eat all of this. Like if it was like orange chicken, for example, or rice, and rice was off limits as like a no good food, right? That was like, no, nope, can't have any rice. You're not on the rice right now. And I start eating the rice. Binging Betty says things like, you better eat all the rice because you're never going to eat rice again. Or tomorrow rice is off the table again. So what sets up Binging Betty is a lack or restricted mentality, right? Like you're going to be hungry later, so eat it all now, or eat it all now because you can't have that later. So things that are restricted foods and the kind of the diet mentality are what set up this whole process in the first place. So part of recovery is learning, for me, is learning how to just take let all foods be on the table as an option, right? And then I practice intuitive eating. So then I get to say, well, okay, it's not that like rice is bad. It's that I can have rice if I want to have rice. And guess what? I can have more rice tomorrow if I want to have rice tomorrow too. But when I'm having the rice, I'm going to pay attention to other things other than restricting or am I allowed to have it. I'm going to now pay attention to things like, am I full? How does it feel in my body? Am I enjoying it? Is it satisfying? You don't get to answer those questions when you're binging Betty and you feel like you're getting away with something, right? When you're eating in the closet and scarfing down the chips because the chips aren't on the table. That's a great example too. Like chips for me used to be something, oh my God, we're just not going to do chips, right? Chips are off the table. But then if I would start to have the chip, you'd be like, oh, binging Betty goes, oh, you blew it now. You better have the whole bag of chips because you're not going to have chips ever again. I mean, it's just such lies, right? So if you want to learn more about Binging Betty, go to lovecoachheidi.com and sign up for the blog, because periodically she's going to be one of the apps or attachment personality patterns that I continue to work with and describe throughout my time working with you. Through these videos or through blogs, or if you choose to work with me in one of my workshops. I do have a codependency workshop that's coming up that I really want to encourage you to attend, because I'm going to talk about the theory of attachment personality patterns. A lot of the time it's not one personality pattern, they all kind of work together. Like Binging Betty loves to be with restricting Renee and controlling Connie. And so all of these different, and it's not just about food, right? Food is a metaphor for how we live our lives. So if we restrict our food, we restrict other things like how much love we allow in, how much we trust people, how much we're willing to experience in life. If we binge and we're permitters and we just take everything in, then we have no boundaries, right? With ourselves, we just kind of don't know how to how to set up our lives in a way that feels like we're not self-sabotaging all the time, right? Just saying yes to things when we should be saying no, right? And that's a boundary issue. So I really want to work with you. This workshop that's coming up is going to be really powerful. It's just a foundation workshop where we're going to explain the theory of the apps, our personality patterns, and we're going to talk about the master keys to kind of break through for good. So if you attend that workshop, I would be so grateful to have you in it. We're going to do it by Zoom, which is kind of like Skype. It's just if you don't know what it is, you just download it. It's free, and I'm going to give you the login information, and you just come be with me, and we're just going to talk and be together. It's not free, because trust me when I tell you free workshops are because people are trying to sell you something. I'm not trying to sell you something, I'm trying to help you. So come, and your time's valuable, but if you invest in yourself, you're going to get some results from that workshop, I promise. So come to it. And if not, then just sign up for the life blog, because on there we're going to continue to talk. Go to lovecoachheidi.com and sign up for the life blog, because on there you can learn about these patterns as well. So anyway, I love you so much, and I'm going to leave you with a tip today, okay? If you don't sign up for that workshop, what I want you to do is just to start practicing mindfulness in general. And Binging Betty, her worst enemy is mindfulness, because she likes to go into a coma. She likes to check out. She likes to be numb. She doesn't like to be here now. So just one quick tip. If everything was off on the table and there were no restrictions and you could have what you wanted, and trust me when I hear you, I know the fear, oh my God, Heidi, if I let rice in my life, I'm going to eat rice for forever. If I let chocolate on the table, I'm going to get fat because I'm just going to eat all the chocolate in the world. Trust me when I tell you, no, you won't. Once you allow yourself something, you're going to taste it and actually decide if you like it or not. So we're just at the beginning, right? So what I want you to do is I want you to think about when you go, and you know, Dr. Anita Johnston, who wrote Eating by the Light of the Moon, has this great analogy about two tanks, right? Tank A and Tank B. And Tank A is your hunger tank. Like that says, oh, I'm really hungry. I really want to eat something today. And Tank B is, I'm really not hungry, but I'm emotionally hungry. I'm hungry for affection or attention or whatever. And between the two of these people, there's Anita Johnson and Janine Roth, who also does, she doesn't focus in eating disorders, but binging, and her whole focus is enough. And she talks about, what am I really hungry for, right? So I want you just to start to ask yourself that question. When you start to feel hungry and you're looking around at all of your options, ask yourself just the question, what am I really hungry for? Is it the Oreo that I'm hungry for? Or is it the sweetness that's in the Oreo? And if it's just the sweetness, well, what's it trying to tell me? Do I need to be sweeter to myself? Am I craving a hug? Do I want to talk to somebody? Do I need to call somebody? What am I really hungry for? Just start practicing that one mindful question that'll start to ground you into curiosity. Curiosity is a great place to start. You don't even have to have all the answers. You just have to be willing to ask to figure them out. Anyway, Binging Betty, the article that I wrote, is going to be over at lovecoachheidi.com. Make sure you go to the blog and check it out. And the workshop link is right above. I love you. I'll see you in another video. Take care. Bye-bye.